The way my jaw dropped, because the moment Stephanie finally opened her mouth to address what happened with baby Manova, she somehow managed to make everything even worse. Like, this wasn't clarity. This wasn't accountability. This wasn't a mother explaining a medical emergency. This was a whole performance of deflection, attitude, and Olympic level denial served with a side of sarcasm and zero common sense. And the wild part? This is all happening after her youngest started having these supposed seizures, while her own daughter is the one who exposed that the baby actually fell off the bed. Meanwhile, Jay ignored it, Stephanie ignored it, and instead of talking about any of that, she thought the internet needed a cleaning montage. No accountability, no acknowledgement, just excuses stacked on top of more contradictions until nothing in the story even stands up straight anymore. So, today, we are going through every single thing she said. Every caption, every voiceover, every rant, every deflection, because every detail she dropped made the situation even more concerning. Quick reset before we get deep. The baby fell. The parents pretended she didn't, and somehow the conversation turned into whether the motel was clean enough. Let's get into it. Stephanie uploads a cleaning video with a long caption. We got timestamps to prove it. This place gets cleaned so much it even ain't funny. I want to know that you may notice a bit more addressing and back about the bullying. After a year of it non-stop, both you and myself are sick of it. But I digress. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. God bless you. Bye now. Her voiceover was full of sarcasm, saying the motel will look trashed 10 minutes after she finishes cleaning. She complains that every time she posts a cleaning video, people think she never cleans. So now, she wants to prove she cleans daily. She says she hasn't been posting daily cleaning videos because she didn't want to bore people with the same content. She listens to music and podcasts while cleaning, so she can't record. And the mess is normal because she has 5 kids.
Welcome back to another day of cleaning my ass off for it to look like this in 10 fucking minutes. It really do seem like every time I post a cleaning video, y'all think that we just never clean, when this is seriously something Drew and I do daily. So I figured to myself, why don't I post it daily? And for a while there, it was just because it was so mundane to me, boring, the same crap over and over. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm doing all this cleaning, I want to be listening to music or some kind of true crime, and I can't be using my phone to record it every time. So, yeah. Also, I find it kind of hilarious that people seem to not understand that it is going to get like this with 5 kids in a motel room, because I see people with way more well-equipped houses, big homes, and they still have quite a mess to deal with on a daily with all of their children, because kids make a fucking mess. I'm definitely not faultless when it comes to this, because I've taught my kids that if they're going to half-ass their chore, mom's going to take over and do it correctly. Because it just simply freaking irritates me when I see something that needs to be done and I'm asking for some assistance for it to be done, and the person's sitting there either complaining or just half-assing it, and I'm like, you know what? Just get out my way. Okay, y'all, real quick, I'm going to take a minute to address some bullshit that keeps popping up about me. So a while back, I opened up to the fact that I started gardening again, and people just ran with it. They decided to make up whatever the heck they want about me and decide not only does she gardens every day, 85 times a day. Yo, for all you know, I said that shit as bait, which I didn't. But at the same time, like, how do you know? You don't know because you're not sitting here watching me do anything. And I find it astonishing that people will literally just run with what they hear from people instead of actually getting to know the source. Y'all, what the heck is that? Because unless you have somebody spying on me daily, which I actually wouldn't put that past y'all, you really don't know my daily habits. You know what the heck I post online. And then whatever you decide to believe that's said about me, that's on you, not me. So make your speculation, say what you want to say, make your profit off saying whatever the heck. But again, it does not reflect me. It doesn't have to do anything with moi, okay? But like I was saying, I'm really trying to, almost for myself, hold myself accountable, as I do be cleaning every day. I just don't be posting it every day. And it's a process that I could be sharing and, you know, potentially making my extra bucks on. So why the hell am I not sharing it? What I want to start doing is taking pictures every night of the cleaned environment and then post it on my story with a little timestamp. Like, y'all, this is how it is every freaking night, because y'all just seem to not believe me. But anyways, It's not even just about that. It's also for myself, because to be able to look back at my memories and see just how many times I cleaned this freaking motel room. When we get the hell out of here, I know it's going to be mad satisfying that I actually put myself through this mental battle and this mental struggle of doing this every day, because it is not easy to mentally prepare yourself to take care of the same thing over and over and over. And it's just like, why does this even have to be a reoccurring problem? And what's crazy is, like, this is only half the process. I still have another 40 minutes of cleaning to edit and pop up on here. And it was from the same day. And where I'm doing all of this right now, this was while the kids were at school. When they got home from school, you can bet they messed it up again, which I'm not trying to be like, oh, freaking hate my kids, I need to stay in school. But at the same time, like, y'all, can you just stand still and not move? Because you make a mess every time you breathe. I'm just playing. Lord knows I'm the only mama on the internet who can't joke about her children. And every time we clean, we end up finding a bunch of binkies. And I guarantee you all these binkies will be lost by the end of the night, but we'll find them again tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, Resilient Fam. Bye-bye.
She compares her situation to people with big houses, saying even they deal with mess. Then she blames herself, saying she told her kids that if they complain about chores, she'll just do it alone. Stephanie says she exposed that she went back to gardening, but people twisted it into her gardening every single day. She claims it was a bait, then changes her story mid-sentence, saying even if she didn't bait anyone, nobody would know because no one watches her do it. But here's the problem. The person who told the public about their daily gardening was not random people. It was Drew. He said they spent $30 in 3 days on gardening. He said they do it daily to cope. So why is Stephanie trying to rewrite that? Why is she contradicting her own partner? And honestly, gardening wouldn't be a problem if they weren't breastfeeding a newborn, living in a motel, unable to afford stable housing, and choosing to spend money on gardening instead of trying to get out of the motel. The issue isn't the hobby, it's the priorities. And on top of that, she often looks extremely high or zoned out in the very videos she chooses to post publicly. She's upset people point this out, but she's the one posting it. She says everything else is speculation and people can't choose to believe it or not because it has nothing on her. But if it truly had nothing on her, why is she desperately trying to prove the motel is clean every day? Why is she bothered enough to create timestamps, daily photo proofs, and double posted cleaning videos? She's not upset because the comments aren't true. She's upset that other creators make money breaking down the content she posts. She says she isn't bothered by the constant posting, the long captions, the defensive tone. The timestamps all show the opposite. Stephanie says she's holding herself accountable and cleaning every day, even though she doesn't post about it. Now she wants to start taking nightly pictures with timestamps to prove it. She says when she leaves the motel, she'll look back on the mental battle she went through by doing the same thing every day. Meanwhile, her baby had just reportedly had another seizure, and her daughter exposed on Drew's Live that the baby fell off the bed, which would explain the symptoms.
Listen closely. It was Addie in the background of Drew's Live just now admitting that baby Minova fell off the bed yesterday.
She's okay. Yeah, she had 2 seizures this week. One on Tuesday, one today. Oh yeah, I'm not worried about it.
He just still seems so nonchalant about it.
No, he's watching TV, jumping on a chair.
Now, you can consistently hear all the kids in the background throughout Drew's Live, and it's just honestly really sad. Like, they're just asking for things, wanting food, asking for what's on TV. But he still talks to them a lot sweeter than Stephanie does. But it's the fact that your baby's in the hospital now with a second seizure in a week, and you're just chilling here on Live.
So she was just standing on the couch, bed, whatever. Pickles.
I did ask if Drew saw this seizure, and he said yes, he did. He saw it. But again, he said he was cleaning, and then Stephanie says, oh, she's having a seizure. And then he turns around, and she's on the floor. Again, how does he not know she didn't just fall? Clarifying the live, last time Stephanie didn't go because she doesn't drive in the dark.
No, she wasn't high. She just can't drive at night. She can't see.
She's going to have to drive home in the dark tonight. So I'm really confused of why she went this time and not last time still. But we'll see if she actually gives us an update from the hospital or if this is even real. I don't know.
Drew ignored it. Stephanie ignored it and instead Stephanie posts 2 back-to-back cleaning videos like a distraction. She finally addresses the situation in a long written post. If we were worried about all these outlandish speculations you guys are making about our daughter's seizures, we wouldn't have posted about it to begin with. She says they're used to people taking things to extremes. She says stories and lies don't reflect on them. She says just because something is said doesn't make it true. Then she argues that taking their daughter to the hospital twice proves they are not hiding anything because hospitals have mandatory reporters. Her son's in home therapists are mandatory reporters. They regularly take their kids to doctors. The kids go to school. She says she'd go to church, but Christians in her comments scare her. Then, I apologize for the longer post. I thought people would open their eyes to how much Drew and I are trying. So from here out, I defend my family. If you don't like it, you're free to move along. Much love to those who deserve it. And that's her official statement. This right here is where everything flips. Because instead of telling the truth, Stephanie decided to go full acrobat mode trying to jump over every single detail that actually matters. Like, your baby fell. Your own child said it on live. People had it clear as day. And somehow, the storyline we got was, you guys are bullying me about cleaning. Girl, be serious. The way she skipped over the fall like it was a commercial break? Insane. She didn't address the accident. She didn't address why Drew ignored the kid when she said the baby fell off the bed. She didn't explain why the hospital visit didn't happen right away. She didn't even try to line up the timeline. She just pretended it never happened and hoped we'd all forget. And the craziest part is she's acting like the public woke up and randomly invented a whole movie plot. No, we didn't imagine her daughter talking. We didn't imagine Drew saying the baby was standing 1 minute and suddenly on the floor the next because he zoned out. Those are their words, their lives, their footage, their chaos. But instead of saying, yes, the baby fell, it was an accident, here's what happened. She chose to fight the internet over motel cleaning videos like that was the real emergency. It's the way she will swear she's unbothered, but then writes essays every time. The way she'll say people don't know her life while posting every corner of her life. The way she'll call everything a lie except the parts she needs for sympathy. And honestly, the logic just packed its bags and left. Because how are you yelling at people for reacting to content you posted while also saying you're only posting it because people keep talking? She made it very clear she wants to control the conversation, not clarify it. She wants the sympathy of sharing her daughter's seizures, but none of the accountability that comes with explaining how that baby ended up on the floor in the first place. That's the flip. That's the moment the whole story crumbled. She is deflecting to avoid admitting neglect. Okay, let's be real. This whole situation has deflection written all over it. She is not even attempting subtlety at this point. Stephanie is acting like if she ignores the fall long enough, it will magically delete itself from everyone's memory. But the internet is not amnesic. Evidence? She completely ignores the fall, like fully. Not even a, yeah, something happened. Just silence. She ignores her own daughter's statement. The same daughter she swore never lies. 2 days ago when it suited her storyline. She ignores Drew, literally hinting that 1 minute the baby was upright and the next minute the baby was on the floor because he zoned out.
Did the baby really have a seizure? Because the math is not mathing. I had to be that person. And before I even go too deep into it, let me say this. Something definitely happened to that baby. Prayers to the baby. We want the baby to be okay. But this just not making sense. One, Drew didn't even see the seizure happen. He just woke up and the baby was on the floor. Two, Stephanie, why didn't you go with the baby to the hospital? Like, I kind of get it because it makes sense for Stephanie to be at home with all the kids because Drew never is. But that's suspicious. And then you sat and recorded a video about it. And it's not even the fact that she recorded a video about it because I get that. I do get, like, you know, in the moment, vlogging, whatever. But it's the fact that you sat down and edited it and then posted it across several platforms and continue to engage with people in the comments. Meanwhile, Addie she's in the background screaming at your other kids because apparently it was her turn to do something first. But anyway, then the baby was home in like 2 hours. So your infant had a seizure and they let the baby come home in 2 hours? And then you pair this with the other day you like got on here and said that you were upset that a teacher spoke to your child alone and that you specifically instruct your children not to talk to anybody alone. That's not that even if this is all like made up just for like engagement farming and stuff, this is a very dangerous game that's being played. A very dangerous game because all of the red flags are there. All of the signs are there. There's creators that have been ran off of this app for a lot less. And it really blows my mind that she's still hanging in there strong. Like she's still going. I know it's our fault. I know it's because we keep talking about it. But it's like, how can you not talk about this?
That right there is a whole confession whether she likes it or not. Instead of talking about any of that, she's out here posting cleaning videos like she's auditioning for motel makeover. And then she gets upset that people are asking questions she created with her mixed messages. Girl, nobody forced you to post 17 contradicting stories. What could disapprove it? Simple. Hospital documents. That is it. She's already shown half the world everything else about her kids. Their seizures, their behavior, their medical moments. HIPAA left the chat ages ago. So if she wanted to shut down rumors, she could easily show the paperwork proving they checked for seizures and only seizures. But she hasn't. And that silence is loud. She's trying to control the narrative completely. Here's where things get extra messy. Stephanie wants to be the director, producer, editor, and a narrator of a story that already leaked to the public in 5 different versions. Evidence? Those timestamp photos every night, like she's trying to build an alibi for a crime no one accused her of. Posting clinic videos instead of baby updates, like that's gonna make the fall disappear. Claiming she's not bothered while writing paragraphs that read like she's typing with smoke coming out of her ears. Getting mad at creators making content from her content. Babe, that's how the internet works. She genuinely doesn't understand how serious this looks. This is the one that honestly scares me the most because if this theory is true, then she's not acting malicious. She's just dangerously unaware. Evidence? The baby fell from a high motel bed, not a tiny toddler mattress on the floor, a high bed. They didn't rush to the hospital. They went the next afternoon, hours later, after the internet started talking. She already has a track record of downplaying medical concerns. Remember when the baby's eyes crossed and she didn't take her in until the public forced her hand? She openly says she prefers natural remedies over modern medicine, which, okay, for a headache, but not for a baby that just hit her head. Here's what's unfolding. And let me break it down the way it actually feels because this part right here is not light, it's not vague, and it's not something you can gloss over with a cleaning vlog. CPS is reportedly aware of what's going on, and honestly, at this point, how could they not be? They are looking into the fall. The fact that the baby wasn't taken to the hospital right away, and the whole pattern of neglect that keeps popping up like unwanted ads. They are looking at how the baby ended up hospitalized after a fall the previous night. Not immediately, not urgently, but hours later. They also had to step in during the crossed eyes situation because Stephanie waited until the internet pointed it out before taking her baby to get checked. And now, the motel living conditions, the lack of supervision, the constant chaos, the non-stop distractions, all of that is being flagged too. It's not just a rough patch, it's a pattern. And the scariest part? Not the fall, not the delays, not even the motel situation. It's the fact that Stephanie and Drew show zero willingness to admit they messed up. Not even a hint. No, we made a mistake. No, we should have reacted quicker. Not even the smallest acknowledgement that something went wrong under their watch. This is way past a simple accident. A simple accident gets addressed. A simple accident gets explained. A simple accident gets followed by a parent who's shaken, scared, and honest. This is repeated danger, repeated denial, repeated patterns that keep getting worse every time. And the kids are the ones sitting in the middle of all of this, exposed, overlooked, and depending on two adults who seem more focused on social media damage control than the safety of the children they put online every single day. Stephanie didn't clarify anything. She didn't ease concerns. She didn't explain the fall. She didn't address the contradictions. She just ranted, deflected, and tried to make the entire situation about bullying and cleaning. The truth is simple. The public didn't create these questions. She did, with her own posts, lives, and contradictions. The kids deserve better stability and better safety than this. What do you think? Was this neglect, deflection, or both? Drop your thoughts below, like and subscribe to stay updated.